Hello and welcome to the space that gives you inspiration on work, on life, and how to balance both worlds. Guess what, guys? It's finally turning full circle. Why? Because now you're going to really get what I mean when I say this channel is on work, life, and on balance. How do we balance both worlds? Because now, in the next 4 months, that's all we're gonna talk about. The balance. How do we make the stuff on work and the stuff on relationships and life balance? Like, how does that happen? And I know many of you have been in my inbox asking me, what exactly is this channel about? Is it about business? Is it about work? Is it like, you know, people were as if not getting it, but I feel like now that we're going to do this series, now it's gonna come together. Because guess what, guys? I had the temptation to niche and, you know, just talk about one topic, but that's not how life is. You know what I'm saying? Like, life has everything, and I can't be in a place where I'm only sharing one side of my life if I have the opportunity and I am able to share more. So this is the first month, the first week of September, and we're talking balance. I know over time, there's many of you who have known me for a while. If you've not, you can check me out on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on TikTok, all of those social media channels, I'm there. So hey, don't worry, like, you can find me. But one of the things that I've always said is there's no such thing as work-life balance, but there's everything like work-life choices. I learned this from a good friend of mine called Michael Nietegeka when he came on one of our Bump Love shows. And if you've never watched Bump Love, hey, here is the link in the description box. So watch it. But he said it and it fell on me like a ton of bricks. Like, oh my gosh, there's no such thing as work-life balance, but there's everything like work-life choices. And so while I say this channel is on work-life balance, it's really on work-life choices. Making the right choices that will make you feel like you're kind of doing that dance, even if it might not really exist. But that said, I want to start with the elephant in the room, which is many of you, after seeing a lot of my vlogs, always go like, oh my gosh, you're so organized. My God, you're so organized. My God, you're so organized. You're so organized. You're so organized. And then when we spoke on personality, I told you guys that I'm sanguine and choleric, and the sanguine side of me is predominantly and by default system far from organized. Like, seriously, far from organized. And I tell you guys, I kid you not, I am far from organized in my default system. And that's why I know it's possible for anyone who decides to actually be organized. Why do I say this? Like I said, my default system is disorganized, life of the party, spontaneity, let's do it now. What's the idea? I got a new idea. That's who I truly am. And I am those people that my something can be disorganized and I know where exactly it is. Like, I enter the room and I know where I put that sock deep in a certain pile. That's who I truly am. But like I shared last month, I got through all of the emotions that we spoke about, the guilt and the overwhelm. All of those emotions were the beginning of me getting into a depression. And when I got into the depression, that's exactly when I needed to get organized. I was clearly, I was doing my life wrong. And that's why when I shared those emotions and feelings, and I'm so glad that, you know, many of you identified with those feelings, many of you identified with those actions. I mean, many of you didn't know sabotage, and you're like, ooh, what? Some of you had never seen guilt the way I explained it. And so that's what I went through. And then I went deep into a depression. And when I got into that depression, I knew that life needed to change. And so if any of you identified with any of those feelings or emotions that I shared last month, I shared that those are things that you should be aware of that show you that you need to change your life. And so the default system girl who's used to being disorganized, after that depression, I really needed to change my life. And so I'd like to invite you also, if that's something that you're going through, if you've gone through any of those emotions, to change. So let's start with the organization. I had the way my things had been planned in my mind, but I decided to do it a bit differently because I know there's steps. Like I now became a systemized person, but I'm trying to find the mix between my spontaneous self and that not so spontaneous person that I should be so that I can manage my life and my work. So let's talk about this organization thing for starters, and then I will go into the systematic side of things. What exactly is organization? And again, like I said, I've always said I need notes because I'm a scattered person for in real life. And so these notes just help me make sure that I stay on track with what I'm supposed to say, you guys. So what is organization? Organization is the skill of coordinating and being in control of people, events, things, spaces, schedules, whatever. Name it, right? And the goal is that you find what you need when you need it, and you can do what you need before it becomes urgent. That is what organization is. Ultimately, it's that you find whatever you need whenever you need it, and that you do whatever you need to do before it becomes urgent. So you're coordinating and being in control. I think those are two keywords. Coordination, like while something is happening, you're doing something. While something might happen, you've done something. You're thinking of something. Well, like you're juggling. Like that's what it's like. Like you're a ball juggler. Is that what they call them? I don't know. You're juggling different facets and different aspects of your life. So there's a coordination. There's a dance. Because like I said earlier, life has everything. You have to eat at the same time you have to be with your kids, at the same time you need to work, at the same time you need to make money, at the same time you need to have a clean home. Like all of those are different balls that need to be juggled. So how do you coordinate all of that stuff? And I'm telling you, you either coordinate it in an organized way or you don't. So either way, there's a certain form of coordination. And that's when in this dance of coordinating the different aspects of your life, you have certain balls fall through the cracks because, you're just trying to do this delicate dance. And then being in control. There's certain people for whom life just happens. You were supposed to, for example, pick up your kids, but then you had a meeting and then thank God, even without you calling your friend to help you pick up your kids, they helped you pick up the kids and you're like, oh, thank you, Jesus. But it wasn't something that you had planned. A more coordinated person would have called their friends and said, hey, I have a meeting tomorrow, or I have a meeting next week, and I won't be able to pick up my kids. Do you think they can have a sleepover, and can you help me pick them up? You know what I'm saying? That is what it is like, or what it is to be organized. You're coordinating and being in control of people, of events, of things, of spaces, of schedules, of everything. So what are some signs that you're not organized? Apart from the feelings that we talked about last month, here are some quick signs that you're not organized. And I went through them myself, so things needed to change. One, you're constantly busy. I like when people call me nowadays and tell me, oh my God, I thought you're so busy. And I'm like, no, not really. Because it's the honest truth. Like there are times I sit at home and I'm done with like my work. And I think somebody did once ask me, said, but Manuela, when you finish your tasks for the day, then what do you do? And I'm like, I read a book, I I lounge. I actually have the time to lounge. Only that the truth is, I'm busy doing that. Yeah, take that. It's just that people always think that busy means you're busy doing work. But now I be busy doing nothing. That sounds so cool. Busy doing nothing. But that was never ever reality for me. But now it is. I can actually be busy reading a book. I can actually be busy doing nothing. So when you're so busy doing everything all the time, you're constantly juggling stuff, that's a clear indication that you're disorganized. Another indication is that you have a lot of clutter. These are people who, I always keep telling myself that I always want, every space I am in, I should be able to see what's happening on the floor in the corner. Yeah? So that there's noble things inside. But there's many of us who hide things under the chair, under the wardrobe, under. Like people are always hiding things under. Complete clutter. If you're that kind of person, you're possibly a disorganized person. I mean, you open up your Gmail and you have 1,000 messages, 500 messages, 100 messages. Why? What? That's a clear indication. I see some of you telling me I'm dropping. I'm flipping over tables in the bar and there are drinks on it when I say that. Like, why would you have 100 emails on your, like, why? I went through that though. I had like up to 10,000. And then guess what? I even opened a second, a third, a fourth, and fifth email. And they still had 10,000 emails to read. Wow, Manuela, wow. So I get you because I was there. But that's a clear indication that you're disorganized. Or you're constantly dashing. You have an email, a meeting, you're dashing. You're always in a rush. As long as you're always in a rush, darling, you're disorganized. And I'm not talking about the lazy people, being the flip of being in a rush. I don't want the people who come to a meeting 10 hours later to think that they're organized. No, that's a whole different other issue. But if you have a meeting at 2 o'clock, why aren't you there at 1:30? If you have a meeting at 3 o'clock, why aren't you there at 2:45? That will show that you're not disorganized. But if you're constantly rushing to that meeting, by the time they find you, you're sweating, you're hot, you're shaking, that's a clear indication that you are disorganized. Another one is stashing. Somebody tells you they're coming to visit you and you start looking for where to hide things. Like constantly stashing. Open here, take that, get that, put that here, put it, hide. That shows already that you're disorganized. Or another one that was a clear indication that you are disorganized is your piling. Like one thing on top, especially in our wardrobes inside there. Just putting one thing on top, it's like you want to forget. You already have a wardrobe, it's already disorganized, it's where your jewelry is, but now you also add books. After you've added books, you're like, oh my God, this place is so disorganized, so disorganized. You add some socks. Like you just keep piling and piling. That's a clear indication that you are disorganized. Or you are just plain, like you feel it inside your mind that things are dropping, like things are falling. Like you can't get a hold of anything. That's a clear sign that you are disorganized. And what are some of the reasons as to why people are disorganized? One, you can't say no. Like they call you for a party at the same time that they've called you to a meeting at work, and also at the same time that you have a doctor's appointment with your child. And you can't get yourself to say no. You can't get yourself to say, unfortunately, I have a doctor's appointment on that day and with my child, and so unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. You can't say in a meeting, guys, unfortunately, I'm not available on that day. I made a commitment to be somewhere else at that time. You've said yes to the party. You've said yes to your work meeting. You know you have your child's doctor's appointment for immunization. You've said yes to 3 events that are happening on a Saturday at 3 p.m. That's a cause for disorganization. Another one is, it's in quote unquote your personality. And like I said, for us as sanguines, to be honest, I don't know how to explain to you, fellow sanguines. I think also us we should have a meeting, right? I think sanguines should also have a meeting, because surely, what is this about us? Yeah, we are just happy to be anywhere, doing anything. No form of organization. No, like no matter how many people tell us to do things, right? So it's just like, no, life is good. Life is happy. Why are we stressed by having to clean a bathroom? It can be cleaned tomorrow. Come on, guys. There's a party. Let's have a party. So it could be in your good old nature of yourself, like myself. So please don't feel guilty, but that is a cause for disorganization. Another one is that you misappropriate time. Like I've said earlier, you have a doctor's appointment, right? You've been called to a meeting at work and they've asked you what time is good for you. You know the doctor's appointment is at 3 o'clock, right? Very good. You know the hospital that you're going to, that by the time you are done, it's going to be 6, which is out of, worked hours. And so you're feeling bad that if you say 6 o'clock, they'll think you're unserious. And so you say, let's do 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock should be good, right? You know what I'm talking about, guys. So there you go. 3 o'clock, you've not even reached the doctor's appointment because there was traffic, because you also didn't appropriate that time, that it takes you 1 hour to leave your home and go to the doctor's. You didn't appropriate that time. You're saying you're going to the hospital and you should be there at 3 o'clock, but at 2:45, you're still at your home. Guys, that is a cause. You will be disorganized. You will be disorganized. Another one is you're emotionally tied to stuff. Like people who have emails, 10,000 emails. Do you know what you keep telling yourself? I'll read them. I'll read them. I'll read them. You'll read them. You've not read them for 4 years. What makes you think that you're going to read them tomorrow? So this is what we're going to do. After you've watched this video, go to your Gmail, open it, click, this is off your PC, click all and mark all read. You've read them. After this video, I'm telling you now, you've read them. So don't hold yourself. Now that the next emails after this, you're good to go, right? So enough of my doomsday for what's going on in your life. Let me speak some better words. Things like, what are the tips for you to be better organized? And I'm going to say 4 things. 4 things just for the start. 1, plan. 2, have schedules. 3, have routines. And 4, be productive. I'll say that again. 1, plan. 2, have schedules. 3, have routines. And 4, be productive. Being productive is at the point when you're actually doing what you need to be organized in doing, right? So those are the 4 areas. And so that's why for the next 4 weeks, we're going to talk about those 4 areas, right? We're going to talk about planning. We're going to talk about routines. We're going to talk about schedules, and we're going to talk about being productive. You don't want to miss this series. Now, I have some great news for you. For those of you that have been watching my vlogs and have absolutely loved the fact that I'm extremely organized and you've told yourself that's how organized I am. The truth is I actually take the time to plan my entire year. And so I'd like to invite you to the Annual Personal Planning Getaway that is scheduled for 29th to 31st of October 2021. It will be a Friday through to Sunday, and it's in this boot camp. You can call it a boot camp or whatever, or getaway. We'll go away and we'll plan our entire years, day on day, week on week, month on month, quarter on quarter, year on year. I can't wait to see you guys. Please follow all of my socials for more details. For now, just block and save the dates, 29th to 31st October. In other news, I have what you guys have been asking for that have been great tools in my journey of being organized. I found that I needed to make my life easier in this thing called balancing my work and my life. and it comes off as organized, and that is two things: my home and my meals. And so for those of you that know what I'm talking about, H.O.T is back, and it's back with a bang. H.O.T is Home Organization Tool in full. It's an acronym, H.O.T. And in the past, I've sold the home edition, the H.O.T home edition, which is really how to organize your home and have a system of organizing your home, which we'll talk about the system thing. We'll talk about it, but it's a PDF. It's a downloadable PDF. You'll get it in your email, download it. Meanwhile, you won't see it if you've not removed all those 10,000 emails. So please remove them so that you can see this email when you purchase it. So you get this downloadable PDF, download it. It's 6 pages for 6 different rooms: the living room, the dining, the outdoors, the bedrooms, the bathrooms and the toilets, and the kitchen. So you have all of these PDFs, put them up somewhere in your home. It will show you what you need to do to organize and tidy up your home on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, biannually, and annual schedules for your home. So you'll know exactly what to clean up. So the link for purchase is in the description box, or it's in the first comment, the pinned comment from myself. So I can't wait to see you get it. But like I said, H.O.T is back with a bang. What's the bang? The bang is the meal edition. As all of you have known, or some of you have known, I plan my meals up to a year ahead of time, and you have access to exactly that. You have access to my meal plan, and it shows you what you'll have every day of the week for 365 days. But here's the thing. It doesn't show you what recipes you can have, because when we say you should have rice, you can have it either as pilau, as, I don't know, egg fried rice, as vegetable fried rice, as, I don't know, do they do katogo in rice? Anyway, there's so many various ways to cook rice. And so because we don't give you that in the meal plan, we also have recipes. Recipes are also available to you and for you for this purpose of being able to, now you have the meal plan, you can now see what recipes or how you can play around with the meal plan. Also, did I mention that the H.O.T meal edition comes with a shopping list? Yep, so you don't have to plan what your shopping is like. Okay, so head over to the description box. Until next week, I can't wait to see you when we start talking planning. See you guys. Bye-bye. Oh, yes, like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. Yeah.